welcome to Axesense.com. This is a new instructional website that I've putting up for, obviously for guitar players. Main point of this site, as I mentioned, is an educational site. I have 3 books that I've written that are going to accompany the site, and the basic idea is you get the book, you go through the exercises, and then on the site there are going to be videos of the various exercises in the books. So anything that's confusing or you want to hear how it sounds, how it's phrased, tempo-wise, etc., go on the site, pull down the MPEG, and there you go. Now you're going to ask, well, then why should I buy the book? The point of the book and the side of this whole website is to teach you to not just be a guitar player, but to be a musician. And I think that's the biggest thing I found lacking in my 20 years of teaching. I have been teaching professional guitar for 20 years, so I'm not new to this, and I'm sure all of you guys that are out there and you're checking out YouTube guitar videos, you're playing guitar, you know, in my years of teaching, the overall level of guitar playing is skyrocketed. I mean, I have kids now that I teach, teenagers, high school kids, even junior high kids, that are executing stuff that, you know, wouldn't have been able to play till I was in my 20s. So the bar is very high there on the technical level, and likewise on the site there are, or on the webs, there are numerous sites where you can go to pull down licks. Great guitar players galore. You know, as everyone knows, there's no dearth of great guitar players out there. But again, the point of this site is not so much to teach you licks. There'll be some licks, but the main thing I'm trying to do here is to teach you to understand music, so that A, you can go out and buy a book, an instructional book of your favorite songs, your favorite artists. You'll be able to read music maybe. At least you'll be able to understand what keys are, some basic understandings of rhythm. And the whole point of this really is so that you can teach yourself. There's no substitute for studying with a great teacher, but it's also expensive. So, you know, maybe you don't have the money to plunk down $30, $40, $50, $60 a week for lessons, or maybe you've done that and now you want to do it on your own. There's any number of reasons why you'd want to study. This might be in addition to lessons. Personally, I was very lucky as a kid growing up in high school. I grew up in Berkeley, and you know, the hot teacher at the time was a guy named Joe Satriani, who I'm sure most of you have heard of if you're checking out guitar clips on YouTube. I studied with him for about 3 years while I was in high school. That would have been from 1982 to 85. After that, I went to the University of California in San Diego, studied some music, studied with some teachers out there, went on to play in a lot of bands. I've worked in music shops, taught myself how to play classical, studied with a great jazz player out in the Bay Area a couple years back, a guy by the name of Lauren Lieber. So, you know, I've spent most of my life now studying guitar, studying music, learning how to play. And so I'm honestly going to hope that this site is really going to help you on that end. The clip that you just saw of me playing before we got here, that wasn't a scripted anything. That's just me jamming. It was basically a progression with kind of this chord here. And then we're just going between an A bass over that. And then we switch to a C bass. So it's kind of this funky thing. You got this chord here. I'm not going to get into worrying about what it's called, but basically with an A in the bass, you're playing what would be an A Dorian type of tonality. And then you add the C, and that brings it to a C Lydian tonality. A Dorian, C Lydian would be relative scales, and they're all part of what is called the modes, which is a big focal point of my method, and also of Satriani's approach to music. If you listen to his albums, most of his albums are either modally based or blues based or mixes of the two. It lends a real melodic quality to your playing, and you know, I guess, I don't know, I can't imagine not liking Satriani. Maybe you don't, but if you're into that style of music, then what we're throwing down here is going to be beneficial for helping you learn. Other things on the site, there's blogs. I write about, you know, life as a gigging musician, gear reviews. You know, like I said, I've been doing this forever. You can see the gray hair. You know, I'm a seasoned veteran. So this whole site is going to be dedicated to helping you develop yourself as a guitarist and as a musician. This is not the only thing you will ever need to study, but it's a good foundation for getting you started. It's also we're going to be an Austin-based website, so I have some friends. You'll have links up to some friends that are artists. You can go look at paintings. I play in the band Sybil. You know, you'll be able to buy Sybil CDs. Going to be links to other great players that I know in town, or you can buy their CDs. We're going to have, I don't know, the site's just starting out. Who knows where it's going to go? But it's going to be a kind of a community stop. And like I said, the main focal point is going to be getting the Axesense books. Again, there's 3 books. Probably start with 1. Book 1 would be your best shot unless you're pretty well rooted already in studying diatonic theory and stuff like that. And then, yeah, progress through the books. Have the videos online to help you go through. There's also going to be jam tracks on the line. So like this one I was playing earlier, in the backgrounds that you heard coming through the Pro Tools while I was playing that, those you know, those little MP3s are going to be on the site so that you can play along with those. There'll be solos to go along. There's going to be examples of all sorts of stuff. It should be you know, a great destination. So I hope you check it out, and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.